Alright, we're going to try and squeeze this in as quickly as possible. CinemaCon has, of course, wrapped up now, and the last one to present their upcoming slate for not only this year, but the next year as well, was Disney's. So let us get into it, shall we? Of course, the next big Marvel release is Thunderbolts with an asterisk. Um, let's dive into the footage. Thunderbolts are in their van on their way to an undisclosed location. Bucky and Red Guardian are talking about the origins of their suit. Bucky seems annoyed by Guardian, Coley saying that he got his suit from Hydra. Ghost, Yelena, and U.S. Agent are all trading stories in the back of the van. The van crashes into the building they're going to, and we begin a fight scene. Many have questioned the validity of having so many characters with the same lack of power set, but this works in the scene's favor, as it's a brutal all-out brawl between the Thunderbolts and their assailants. Just as the fight is getting going, Valentina, Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, tells them they can simply come up. She's populated the Avengers Tower and is trying to get them to form a team, only for the Thunderbolts, who apparently are not truly a team at this point, say no. Sentry, who's Lewis Pullman, face obscured, raises his hand and slams one of the Thunderbolts against the window. The rest of the footage is pretty much what we've already seen, albeit with some new shots of Sentry wreaking havoc on New York. Despite general fatigue with Marvel Studio films, this appears to be exactly what fans of the MCU have been looking towards. A huge event of a film with plenty of new developments. I am the nice pool of the internet, and I think it's been, pretty good since Endgame. We've had Shang-Chi, No Way Home, Loki Season 1 and 2, WandaVision. I've enjoyed What If, X-Men 97, Deadpool and Wolverine. There's been some pretty good stuff. And this one is my most anticipated Marvel film of the year because of the talent that is on screen and behind the screen. Jake Schreier directing, and we've got, let's look back here, Lee Sung Jin and Eric Pearson, both of them working on Beef. Um, so yeah, I'm going to see this as nothing but a win, and I'm so looking forward to this. They showed a poster for the live action Lilo and Stitch film, which will be coming out in May on Memorial Day weekend. Cast being Hannah Waddingham, Sydney Aduong, again, sorry, Tia Carrera, Billy Magnuson, Maya Kealoha, Zach Galifianakis, Courtney B. Vance, and Chris Sanders, of course, coming back to voice Stitch. Um, I thought I was going to sneeze there really quick. No, I'm good. Um, Elio, Pixar's latest original film. There it was. There was the sneeze. There it was. And no, I'm going to keep that in. Alright. Elio, Pixar's most recent um, original film. Jonas Kibrib, Zoe Saldana, Brad Garrett, Austin Lin, Jamila Jamil, directed by Adrian Molina, Madeline Serafian, and Dominique Shi. Dominique Shi actually did Bow and Turning Red, and I love both of those, so I'm excited for this. Footage for Elio starts off with Elio, who's a spunky boy with an eye patch, and seeing a UFO arrive. He's excited, cheering as the UFO begins to abduct him, or as the article says, suck him up. Which, by the way, I know I haven't been saying a lot, but thank you so much to Discussing Film for being at CinemaCon and getting everything together from all these panels. So, thank you, my man. You're doing Lord's work. Thank you. Um, he's excited, cheering as the UFO begins to suck him up. Going through a sort of psychedelic tunnel, he arrives at a huge coalition of alien creatures who introduce him to the idea of the communiverse, this huge grouping where all species can learn from each other. The extremely colorful footage showcases all manner of alien creatures and looks absolutely beautiful, popping off the screen in a way no Pixar movie has ever before. We then go into more of a proper trailer where Elio meets Gordon, a caterpillar larva-style creature who sounds even younger than he is. The two bond, needing to team up when a spider-like robotic alien starts to invade other worlds. There was far too much going on to capture it all, but the amount of creatures and colors on display is mind-boggling. Footage ends with Elio hiding in Gordon's mouth to avoid lava rolling over him. Elio looks promising, despite the film's myriad production issues. I actually did not know that the film had quite a bit of production issues. I mean, the first teaser trailer for this movie came out, I think, over a year ago, I think. And then I think they pushed the film back. And now it's coming out now. But I'm still very much excited for this. Looking forward to it. And plus, it's a Pixar original. And how many times can you say that an original film is coming out in Hollywood now? You can't. So, very much looking forward to it. Again. Fantastic Four, First Steps. What I think is probably everybody else's most anticipated Marvel film of the year. Not to say that I'm not excited for this. I am very excited for this, but Thunderbolts just has me that bit more intrigued. Um, Footage opens with our titular family slash superhero group being brought onto a talk show. It is established that the Fantastic Four have been around for a good while in this alternate universe of the MCU and are beloved by their society. Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby, and Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal, arrive late to dinner with Johnny Storm, Joseph Quinn, and Ben Grimm, Emmett Moss Baccarat. But to make up for it, she announces that she is pregnant. So this footage does confirm that we are getting the uh, the kids of Reed and Sue. That is 100% confirmed. Johnny congratulates the couple, saying Sue will make a great mom, and joking that Reed has some work to do. Things seem to be going well in this dimension until the Silver Surfer, played by Julia Gardner, who was recently in Wolfman, which I really enjoyed, comes to Earth and warns the Fantastic Four that their world has been marked for imminent destruction. The shadow of Galactus is shown looming over New York, and the Silver Surfer tells our heroes they are in a race against time to save Earth from destruction. The civilian asks Reed Richards if they are going to be okay, to which he answers, "I don't know." We see him consumed by his research, burdened by their heroic responsibilities. Sue and Reed make a promise for the future of their child, and we are shown Reed giving a speech and telling the public that the Fantastic Four will protect them. The trailer ends with a shot of the Silver Surfer riding on the iconic board away from the burning flames of an explosion. Interesting. So, this may be the second trailer for Fantastic Four that drops probably when Thunderbolts comes out. If I had to hazard a guess, this will probably be the trailer that we get come May. That's my guess. Because it doesn't reveal a lot. It reveals some things, but not a lot of things. Like, we still don't know. I think we kind of know that Paul Walter Hauser's probably gonna play Herbie. Can't quite remember the name of John Malkovich's character, and we still don't know who Natasha Lyonne is playing in this film. So like this description gives some things away, but not everything away. So that's why I say this might be our next trailer that they release. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. I think this will be probably Marvel's big tentpole film of the year, with Thunderbolts maybe being a close second. Thunderbolts might be an underground hit, whereas Fantastic Four is like the one with the spotlight on it. Um, Freakier Friday, I already put up a trailer reaction for this movie, and that trailer was awesome. Um, the footage that they showed at CinemaCon more or less takes on the form of an extended clip. In this film, Tess, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Anna, Lindsay Lohan, has swapped bodies with Anna's daughter, Julia Butters, in her body, and her soon to be stepdaughter, Sophia Hammonds, in Tess's body. The clip involves Anna trying to flirt with a returning Chad Michael Murray, who is clearly unconfident and not sure what to do. Chad Michael Murray's character believes she's having a stroke after she fails to execute a lip bite in the right way. That already sounds funny. Meanwhile, he stumbles on Tess, clearly still having feelings for her, asking her if her husband is still in the picture. Then we then get a brief glimpse of the two hitting the town, with Chapel Roan's Hot to Go playing in the background. Tess accidentally flirts with her own therapist, and the clip ends. The film looks like exactly the same kind of fun that made the original film a familiar favorite, and fans of that should eat this footage up once it goes public. Um, I think maybe in the run up to this film, I may rewatch the original Freaky Friday just to kind of get a reference to the comedy. It's very much a sense of like fish out of water, in a sense where it's like the older woman in the younger woman's body experiencing things that she hasn't in years, and the younger person now having to deal with all the responsibilities of the person. Classic fish out of water stuff. But here it's amplified with four people. So that ought to be really, really interesting. And I'm very much looking forward to this. Predator Badlands. Kind of another film off the success of Prey, which came out a couple years back. Footage sees a predator crash landing on what could either be an alien planet or a post apocalyptic Earth. For the first time in franchise history, the predator is truly outnumbered, with alternating shots of human gangs hunting down the predator with laser rifles. Elle Fanning plays a mysterious and possibly cybernetic human, since we see her eyes roll to all white, who is trying to help the predator. We see a new variant of a predator chief with long white braids performing some sort of ritual. White braids, that sounds cool. Now I want to see that. There's a flurry of tiny bits that'll be exciting to explore further, namely a tease of a sequence involving a large subterranean chasm, and plenty of showings for the Predator's new weaponry as he hunts all kinds of alien creatures. The teaser ends with Elle Fanning telling the young Yautja protagonist that what he's hunting is unbeatable, only to briefly see a massive kaiju-like creature that the Predator is going up against. The main Predator, without his helmet, lets out a mighty yell at the giant beast before he takes it on. Predator Badlands looks like an entirely new territory for the franchise, the one that builds on Dan Trachtenberg's excellent revitalization of the series in Prey. Um, yeah, Prey did a really big job in reviving like people's excitement for new Predator films. Because I remember when that came out, people were like, "Why the hell isn't this in theaters? Like, this is really, really good." And now that Disney has listened to them, it's like now we're getting a new Predator film in theaters. I don't know. I may give a review on Prey as well. I may class this in my horror movie stuff. I mean, it comes out November 7th, so I might consider that, but it just depends on what I plan on scheduling out for October. Um, Speaking of October, Tron Ares coming out on October 10th. The cast being Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Gillian Anderson, Evan Peters, Jeff Bridges, Cameron Monaghan, Jodie Turner Smith, and Sarah Desjardins. Um, Disney brought CinemaCon attendees to the grid with a laser show and an animated logo introducing Tron Ares, along with exclusive footage from the film. Footage opens not in the grid, but in New York City. On a highway, two red light cycle riders chase each other and turn on their trails behind them, piercing through a police car. We are then shown Greta Lee's character, who seems to be a scientist, standing in the middle of the street, watching a giant recognizer flying through the air in downtown. A title card reads When Worlds Collide, as we're shown the state of the grid covered in orange with light portals to the real world fully open. Light jets fly around and chase each other through the grid into the cityscape of New York. The trailer ends with a final look of the titular rogue program Ares, played by Leto, who is being generated bit by bit. There's a voiceover of Kevin Flynn as Jeff Bridges, as we see Ares face the creation of the Tron franchise's newest villain. We also get a taste of the score by Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, which is as synth heavy and propulsive as fans could hope for. Yeah, I think Nine Inch Nails has some like big shoes to fill because that Daft Punk soundtrack from the first film is really, really good. Like, Rinsler's theme in Tron is so good. I come back to that every once in a while and be like, that is such a good villain theme. It's so good. Um, I'm very interested in the fact that the grid is starting to overflow into the real world. Like, the light cycles and the recognizers, all of that just floating around the city. That's really, really cool. And I hope that Ares is a similar level of badass to Rinsler in the first film. But yeah, this has a lot of promise, and I'm very much looking forward to it. We only got a little bit of footage, um, or not even a little bit of footage, just some stills of Zootopia 2, which of course is coming out towards the tail end of this year. Um, uh, Both of our mains are returning, Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, I believe, played by Jennifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman. Kihei Kwan joins the cast as a snake. I can't remember the name of his character, but I'm very much looking forward to it because the first Zootopia was really, really good, and I hope they keep that quality in this second film. We now finally have a release date for Avatar 3, Avatar Fire and Ash, coming out December 19th of this year. Of course, John Landau, who's producing on this, passed away, I believe, either late last year or early this year. One of the two. And of course, sees all of these people coming back. Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Kate Winslet, Stephen Lang, Sigourney Weaver, Jolie Bliss, Jamie Flatters, Britton Dalton, Jack Champion, like all these guys, coming back. Fire and Ash, they showed a sizzle reel at CinemaCon. First footage we see is the Water Tribe floating on a strange jellyfish-like ship. Details out of this world with the high frame rate photography looking genuinely cinema redefining. That was one of the things that people complained about with Avatar 2, Way of Water, was some of the instances in which the high frame rate came in, and I wasn't opposed to it because it's a different tool in your arsenal that you can use while filmmaking. Instead of shooting at 30 frames per second, you shoot at 60. I mean, that's what I do on my phone. Is I shoot at a higher frame rate on my phone because it can, and I think it looks cool. I think it looks cleaner. 4K, 60 frames a second. That's what I shoot in, and I love shooting in that because I it looks clean. The next scene involves an aerial attack on Jake, Neytiri, and their clan by the Ash people, who have red paint on their mouths to indicate their tribe. We then transition to more of a traditional trailer. The Ash people are a vicious tribe, pushing the Water tribe out of their home. One of the biggest threads is a rage growing in Neytiri, which Jake calls out in a harrowing moment. Jake hugs Spider. There's a tense confrontation between Neytiri and the leader of the Ash tribe. Similarly, the leader of the Ash tribe tells Kiri that her god has no dominion here. Spider at one point has his mask smashed. The last thing we see is hints of a massive action sequence in the sky with platforms surging up towards the top of the sky. The footage is completely unreal stuff, delivering on more than expected. I remember one of the interviews that I watched for Avatar 2, in which James Cameron said when he handed in the script for 2, it was like, got a couple pages worth of notes. When he handed in the script for 3, it was like he got a page of notes. And then when he got the script for 4, it was a holy shit. Like, this is really good. So, we're getting into some, like, real high stakes drama. And I'm also very excited to head back to Pandora. And this will most likely be my IMAX movie for the month of December. Mainly because me seeing Avatar 2 in IMAX 3D was awesome, and it just made me realize, oh, this is why people watch this franchise. So, yeah, very much looking forward to this. Deliver Me From Nowhere, based on Deliver Me From Nowhere, the making of Bruce Springsteen's Nebraska. Very interesting. Written and directed by Scott Cooper, having Jeremy Allen White, Jeremy Strong, Stephen Graham, Odessa Young, Paul Walter Hauser, Gabby Hoffman, Johnny Cannizzaro, Harrison Gilbertson, Mark Maron, David Krumholtz, Chris James. Pretty strong cast right there. That's pretty good. Approved by the boss himself. So this biopic's approved by none other than Bruce Springsteen himself. Set during the stage of creating his album Nebraska, the footage opens on Jeremy Allen White as Bruce is buying a car from a fan of his work. He talks about trying to find himself with his newest record. The footage cuts to Springsteen in a small apartment, recording a song with an acoustic guitar and a harmonica with his assistant, Mike Batlin, played by Paul Walter Hauser. Jeremy Strong plays John Landau, Springsteen's manager at the time. His voiceover talks about Springsteen's emotional journey and his artistic intent for his newest album. For Springsteen to heal the wounds of his upbringing, we're shown flashbacks to Springsteen as a child, sharing tender moments with both his mother and father, a brief glimpse at Odessa Young as Springsteen's love interest, and then transition into Springsteen performing a live version of Born to Run at a concert sung by Jeremy Allen White. Footage ends with Landau telling Springsteen he believes in his vision, ending on the logo of the film. The tone of the trailer is reflective and captures a singular piece of time in Springsteen's life rather than going through his whole life. So that's very interesting that it's, capturing a specific portion of his life when he was working on this specific record. I just find that very interesting because, it's not like too dissimilar to like telling a story like a movie set during like a week. I mean, that's what Dunkirk was essentially, but told in a very unique and stylized way with its storytelling. Um, but yeah, I find this angle very, very interesting. And plus, I love Jeremy Allen White. I loved him in The Iron Claw. I thought he did a really good job in that. Haven't seen The Bear, but I've heard he's really good in it. Um, but yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. Another one from 20th Century, or not 20th Century Fox, 20th Century Studios, um, which is kind of now Disney's like place where they can like churn out like really good original films, or the Oscar films when they want to, stuff like that. Not to say that like Disney and Pixar aren't doing the exact same thing. It's just like 20th Century seems to be like the place where they're actually doing that, and it's like sticking with like good reviews. Maybe not the best box office return, but like really good reviews. Um, Let me see on their Twitter if I had missed anything from this. Oh, Payakan, the whale creature that we saw in um, Avatar: The Way of Water. Uh, that is coming, or they are coming back in Avatar: Fire and Ash. Ah, when looking over the Twitter, Kihui Kwan's character in Zootopia 2 is called Gary the Snake. There we go. Oh, and also, Kevin Feige also confirmed that the listing from the Avengers Doomsday cast announcement, that's not the full cast. I knew that they were holding back some people, so. Feige also said that Avengers Doomsday will focus on the Avengers, Wakandans, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and original X-Men all fighting Doctor Doom. Very interesting. Thunderbolts footage also confirmed that Bucky lasts less than half a term as Congressman. Oh, and they also showed a bit of a movie called The Roses, starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman as a couple who is slowly breaking apart and begins intense divorce proceedings. Also stars Nikuti Gatwa and Andy Samberg as well. Very interesting. That definitely sounds like a play on like War of the Roses. James L. Brooks' new film Ellie, or Ella McKay, um, based off of the politician of the same name, played by Emma Mackey, which also has in it Jamie Lee Curtis, Io Edebury, Rebecca Hall, Spike Fern, Woody Harrelson. That film comes out in September. Um, yeah, and that's pretty much it from Disney's side. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much a wrap on CinemaCon this year. I want to thank you guys so much for um, continuing the through line of me posting all these updates as the convention is going along. I very much appreciate that. I can say that probably next year we're probably going to do the exact same thing. Keep up with the updates of the convention, see what gets shown, and make it a yearly thing. So yeah, had fun doing this, and I hope to see you guys next year when we do it again. But until then, guys, catch you later.